So this horse has a high-low syndrome. Basically, what I do, I trim that foot, the right front foot, the white foot, every 3 weeks to 2 weeks and a half, depending on the shoeing schedule I put this horse. So if I go 5 weeks, I do that white front foot. Every 2 weeks and a half. If I go 6 weeks, it's obviously 3 weeks. So it has worked extremely well. We're at the end of a 3-week cycle, right near on the right front, on the right front foot. And I'm going to show you how I will lower those heels and how I set the shoe to kind of try to even up without, you can't correct, you know, I cannot change the shape of the pedal bone inside both of those feet, but I can help not making it worse. I tend to grind for the right front foot a little bit, you know, I remove a little bit of surface so it gets a little bit thinner. And in general, I recycle my shoe. So after, you know, in 3 weeks, I'm going to reuse the same shoe and regrind it so there's no, you know, discrepancy between one foot and another. I'm going to prepare those shoes. I have one foot on the right here that is slightly smaller than the one on the left. So I'm wearing a safety mask here. Now, I don't like to breathe this stuff, and then goggles. So get something that's shatterproof. We already have defined the heel on this horse, defined the junction from the heel to the frog here and here. And you know, also you have to be very careful. You cannot trim all the way down to the junction. It's always a function how sturdy your frog is. But I will descend the heel quite a bit. And I've done that for quite a while. So we're going to start removing heel. And then we're going to show you exactly how it looks. I already cleaned the sulcus. So with this horse, we're lowering the heel. That's all I have to do. There's not much else you can do. And we maintain the foot this way, lowering the heel a little bit more regularly. And it works quite nicely. Because also I do this horse every 3 weeks. I don't use my nippers, you know, because I think she's trimmed more often. So I tend to use my rasp. And if I feel this is still pretty hard, I might take more so I can lower more heel. See, I have keratinized collar here, so I know I can go further down, so I don't have to worry. But I'm very careful to not go to town with the frog either on the caudal area. So, but it's pretty significant, so I can do that. And it's very hard, so I don't have to worry about hurting anything. So I look at the discoloration, so it's still kind of keratinized a little bit. So I know I can go a little bit deeper. It's still pretty hard, so I know I can go deeper. So those are the two shoes. This being for the right, this being for the left. There's a shoe size difference between one and the other. This is a smaller foot than the other. This is the pedal bone is very different on that foot, so it's not a flare. It's really the hoof capsule match the shape of the pedal bone. And so I'm going to show where I'm going to put the shoe. So we took as much as we physically felt comfortable. See, I start stretching a little bit. It's still colored, you know, kind of yellowish. A little stretch line. It's still pretty dark, so I'm not too shiny material or anything, but I would stop. The frog is getting a little soft, so I stop too. I've checked my junction, so I'm kind of pretty much even right here. And because the foot start growing upright pretty fast, I'm going to set the shoe here. This is flare, so we're going to take care of it. I don't set the shoe back because if anything, you're undoing what you did, my shoe placement on a horse that tends to grow upright, you're going to make the horse even more clubby. So the shoe will be placed right at the heel. We're going to remove that little flare, and that's it. And in 3 weeks, I will redo that foot. And we're just going to blend that a little bit here, but not significantly, just a bit here, and that's it. Basically, we finished trimming him. So I'm going to place the shoe right here. I always project the axis of the bone. It's placed right here. I'm going to probably bend the shoe a little bit. Give enough support to the coronary band on each side. I can remove it if there's too much later. And that's my shoe placement. So this horse is getting more support. But also, I give a little bit of a breakover because I don't want to change things too much. The heel to bulb distance is quite good, so you can't start manipulating gaits to an extent that is not normal for this horse. So this is helping keeping the heel from going forward because she naturally does that. This horse cannot be barefoot. This is not a horse that is a candidate for this. So this is where I'm going to set the shoe. I always refer to the articulation where I put my point right here. So I don't look at the frog. The frog does not bisect the hoof in half. Doesn't happen. I'm putting glue on the shoe. I don't put too much glue. People tend to put too much. I like to not have that much glue. And then I push the glue towards the outside. Come in here, sweetie. Come on. Okay. We already packed the foot. And I'm making sure that I have the shoe at the heel, and I don't rebuild the heel with glue. We don't want to do that. The whole goal with this horse is to actually not have a lot of rebuilding the heel. I check where I'm going to put my shoe around the axis of the bone, and then I just leave a little sliver. So I keep it very clean. I don't like to have glue all over the wall or anything if I can avoid it. So we try to glue minimally. See, the better the balance the foot is, the less likely you're going to lose shoes. So when you have problems, you sometimes have to go a little bit more haywire with your glue, but in general, so everything is flush and flat. I'm going to clean around, and there we go. All right, when you have done a good glue job, and sometimes you can't always because horses really dance around, but the idea is to not smear the whole wall with glue, to keep it very clean. You don't always do it absolutely perfect. You have a very nice breakover. We're going to work the foot a little bit into that, but not much. It's right at the heel, right here, and it's pretty well balanced around the axis of the bone. Come on, princess. Oh, you're not going to do that. You're going to be a nice girl because you love me. I love you too. So the foot being asymmetric, you got to be very careful that you don't start putting feet, in a symmetric pattern. And basically, that's why you can remodel the shoe afterwards. I don't do it before because it's much easier to have a little too much than having too little. And I can tell if I do a perpendicular line from the corner band, I do have too much material here, which in essence is creating a flare. So we're going to rasp it off. Okay? Here I need that support right here. It's good for all the way here, but not here and not here. So they have most of it is right in this area, which I will remove. I'm finishing rasping, and I check the balance here. I have the support I need here. This, I'm very careful that I don't have a flare, because we don't want to do that. So we're practically done. I'm having a little difficulty with the horse and talking at the same time, but I think we're actually doing okay. So there we go. So I think I'm pretty happy. I have my support. I have the support here, so I'm going to let her go. The shoe is finishing about here, and that's why I need the breakover to maintain that foot, that specific foot. I will explain that when I show the x-rays. But I'm finishing my breakover, and it's also done in such a way for bilateral movement of the horse, since they adduct and abduct. They don't just go on a straight line. And then that's it. And I will not bring that toe all the way back to the shoe.